am Shen Qingxi, the princess from Xiliang who came for a political marriage. The moment I married Crown Prince Mirong Heng as his consort, I knew this marriage was destined not to be peaceful. Who knew that right after we drank the nuptial wine, his white moonlight side consort Chu Yuehua would pretend to have heart pain and come looking for him. On our wedding day, I slapped him twice across the face. If you are sick, go find the imperial physician. He can't treat illnesses. Crown Prince Mirong Heng, to settle the score for her, actually wanted to take my heart's blood as a medicinal catalyst. I turned around and stabbed him right in the chest. You are so infatuated, yours will do just fine. The reigning emperor scolded me for being crude, so I went crazy on the spot, sending everyone flying. They threatened to destroy my Xiliang, so I turned the eldest princess against them and destroyed them first. Ah, going crazy feels so good. Please make sure you are in a comfortable position. The main story is about to start. In the comments section, reply and let us know what city you are all reading our story from. Work was already annoying enough, and I even transmigrated into an angsty novel as the female lead. The first second I transmigrated, I was drinking cross-cupped wine with the male lead. Ding. Congratulations, host, for binding with the system. Our mission is to complete the plot of the book, so you can return to the real world. The system's voice sounded, and immediately a large chunk of the plot flooded into the male lead in the book, is Crown Prince Mirong Heng, who was almost killed during a trip to Xiliang as a child, and was saved by Princess Shen Qingxi. But he was blind in both his eyes and his heart, mistook her for someone else, and married the green tea Chu Yuehua as a side consort. For the sake of a childhood promise, the female lead Shen Qingxi traveled thousands of miles for a marriage alliance, only to be abused in body and heart. The green tea made her miscarry. Her hands were crippled, and she suffered cold taunts and sarcasm. And after all that, the female lead still resolved the misunderstanding with the male lead in the end. And reading this, I instantly flared up and grabbed the system by the throat. Are you sure this is a plot a normal carbon-based life form could write? The male lead is so blind and so filthy. Is the female lead so starved for love that she can still fall for him? Host, please complete the plot, or you'll be punished. I slapped it across the face. Punish your grandma's banana. Just as I was about to slap the man in front of me too, a voice suddenly came from the doorway. Your Highness, the Crown Prince, the side consort's heart ailment is acting up again. You should go and take a look. Hearing this, Mirong Heng hurriedly put down the nuptial wine. Yuehua got this heart ailment from saving me back then. I'll go take a look. I'll be back to be with you in a bit. I let out a, this heart ailment is just an act, right? After all, the one who really saved him was the original female lead. It is this cliché plot again. 9 out of 10 female leads in an angsty novel have to watch helplessly as their man stays the night in another woman's room, and still have to comfort themselves with, it is okay, although I don't like this dirty cucumber, but someone's already taking a shit on my head, and I am supposed to tolerate this. I directly lifted my veil. I am going to get a good look for myself and see what this green tea's game is. Mirong Heng still wanted to say something, but I cut him off with a cold laugh. What are you afraid of? Or are you saying you also know this heart sickness is specially meant for you? Mirong Heng looked at me as if he wanted to eat me alive. I strode out the door. The maidservant outside saw it was me who came out, a look of disgust on her face. The side consort is begging His Highness to go. I slapped her across the face. You dog of a slave, are you blind? Don't you know who the master is? I am the officially wedded crown princess. You don't bow when you see me, you don't greet me, and you can't even speak clearly. Guards, drag her out and slap her mouth. Just then, Chu Yuehua came forward, crying and sobbing, and knelt beside the maid. Don't be angry, crown princess. It is all Yuehua's fault. This heart condition of mine always acts up. Luluo is just thoughtless. She disturbed your highnesses and the crown princess's wedding night, so please don't blame her. For any fault, I, her master, will bear the responsibility. I believe the crown princess must be a kind and magnanimous person. She hadn't even finished speaking when she looked like she was about to fall, making it seem as if I was bullying her. Mirong Heng, with his quick eyes and hands, moved to support her. I watched him coldly, trying to butter me up, just so I'll suffer in silence. He really underestimated me. Not only do I have a mouth, but I also get my revenge on the spot. I am terrifying. So I pulled Murong aside and slapped him twice across the face. You know you ruined my good thing. This heart of yours really picked a great time to act up. Such a useless thing. You might as well just dig it out. He probably didn't expect me to hit someone. His face was a picture of astonishment, and you could still see the clear palm prints. Murong was also stunned. I flexed my wrist and sneered. If you are sick, go get an imperial physician. The crown prince doesn't know how to treat illnesses anyway. Chu Yuehua started crying. Murong heart started to ache for her. Then, with a sullen face, he shot me a glare, stepped forward to hug her, and was just about to leave. I swung a whip from behind me, striking his hand. If you dare make me lose face today, I will write to my father emperor tomorrow, and have the 1,000,000 iron-armored cavalry of Xiliang trample your great Shang nation flat. Murong, you are more than welcome to try. The system advised me. Host, you can't do this. If you do this, how is the plot supposed to progress? Do you want to get whipped too? The system was so angry it started wailing. What am I going to do? The plot will collapse, and then you won't be able to go back. Heh. I didn't want to be in that shitty class for another second anyway. It is better that I can't go back. The Western Liang kingdom is so powerful, I'll go back to be a princess. Keep dozens of male consorts. Wouldn't that be the life? Amidst the tense standoff, Murong finally let go of Chu Yuehua. However, he was still wiping her tears and comforting her in a soft voice, which in turn made me look like the vicious female supporting character. I'll find an imperial physician to check on you. When you cry, my heart aches to death. You go back to your room first. I'll come later to rub your chest for you. I rolled my eyes, turned around and went into the room. Murong opened the door and came in, his expression as he looked at me filled with disgust. I had no idea the princess of Western Liang was such a jealous and vicious person. On the very first day, you've already thrown this eastern palace into an uproar. Have you forgotten just who is in charge here? Looks like he didn't get beaten enough just now, and is unhappy about it, huh? Before he could react, I just jumped up and slapped him 2 more times. My memory might not be good, but I should have given you face once, right? Ignoring your newlywed crown princess to run off to the side consort's room. You are so good at treating illnesses. Why don't you treat your own brain damage? Someone has already run wild all over me, the crown princess. I am teaching someone a lesson to establish my authority, and you just have to slap my face. Did I give you the wrong impression that I am easy to bully? I flicked my hand. You better remember this. It is not me who begged to marry you. It is you all who insisted on marrying me. After he finished speaking, Murong face was still turned to one side, his left cheek red and swollen from being hit. I've given so many slaps today, it has made my hand hurt. Shen Qingxi, you shrew. You actually dare to hit me. You are simply unreasonable. Murong roared at me, his eyes practically splitting with rage. Incompetent men only know how to use the volume of their voice to show their authority. I climbed into bed and yawned. Then tomorrow I'll ask your father emperor to grant us a divorce. Whoever doesn't dare is a dog. This tragic female lead role, whoever wants it can have it. I can't do it, not one bit. I wrote a letter overnight to my father emperor in faraway Xiliang, telling him to rush over and provide support. The next day, however, Murong acted completely out of character, called Chu Yuehua over to apologize to me, and looked at me hypocritically, trying to persuade me. Qingxi, I will not call off this marriage. Since I married you, you are my person in life, and a ghost of the Dasheng nation in death. Yuehua doesn't mean any harm. Her health has always been poor. Can't you just give in to her? I really hope you two can get along peacefully. Don't make things difficult for me. What the hell is she barking about, saying such disgusting things? If you ask me, she is the one making things difficult for me. The whip in my hand is already itching to move. Chu Yuehua started acting pitiful again. Crown Princess, please don't be angry. It is all my fault for not teaching my servants. Well, if you want to punish someone, then punish Yuehua. It is all my fault. I was left with this heart condition from saving the crown prince. Seeing me less eagerly sipping tea without responding, she glanced at Murong Heng, then knelt directly in front of me and started crying, a perfect picture of a damsel in distress. The crown prince and the crown princess are the true match made in heaven. Yuehua dares not covet His Highness the crown prince's affection. His Highness is merely taking pity on this broken body of mine. It is my fault for angering the crown princess, and I am willing to kneel here until she forgives me. Your Highness, please do not plead for me. I scoffed inwardly, using these words that seem wronged and compromising, but in reality stab the male lead's heart with every sentence. She is trying to disgust me and also make Murong Heng's heart ache for her. TSK. She is basically a 1982 Longjing, a true veteran green tea bitch. Seeing that I still hadn't opened my mouth, Murong Heng, as expected, couldn't sit still anymore, and hurriedly went to support her. Yuehua, it is not your fault that your health is poor. If it weren't for saving me, you wouldn't have ended up like this. You are the side consort I married. There is no need to be so accommodating and swallow your grievances. Your Highness, she looked at Murong Heng, her eyes full of affection. I got goosebumps all over. Good thing I cultivate the Tao of heartlessness. The thing I hate most in my life is people showing off their love in front of me, especially when it is a man and a woman I hate. On what grounds? Right now he is actually trying to guilt-trip me, but I have no morals. So what am I afraid of? So I looked at her, with a smile that wasn't quite a smile. All right, since you want to kneel so badly, then go kneel outside. Chu Yuehua's little face turned pale. Murong Heng's gaze at me was so dark it could drip ink, and he warned in a low voice, Shen Qingqi, I advise you to know when to stop. Ooh, feeling sorry for her already. Is this your attitude for an apology? If you can talk, then talk properly. If you can't, go sit at a table with the dogs. I also advise you to hurry up and divorce me, and I'll leave immediately. Anyway, I can't stand looking at filthy things either. Are you threatening me? Murong Heng shot me a hateful glare. I thought your IQ was as big as your shoe size, but it turns out you figured it out. Then let me tell you, this isn't a threat. It is just that because our national strengths are unequal, you simply have no say. If you want to protect the people you love, then you have to become stronger than me. But unfortunately, I don't think that is ever going to be possible for you in this lifetime. Chu Yuehua bit her lip, and 2 clear tears rolled down, but I clearly saw a flash of venomous hatred in her eyes. She leaned against Murong Heng and said softly, Your Highness, please stop arguing. The crown princess is not wrong, it is my fault. I'll kneel until the crown princess is satisfied. Yuehua. Murong Heng glared fiercely at me, then went to help her up, full of heartache. Couldn't be bothered to watch them being all lovey-dovey. I turned and walked away. The system hurriedly called me back. Host, in the original story, the female lead doesn't have this kind of character setting. Another female lead with no mouth, is that it? Then you've really picked the wrong person. I'll just go crazy. Host, in the original plot, you were supposed to forgive Chu Yuehua. Let the male lead see her true colors and start regretting it, after realizing he misunderstood you. Acting like this, it is easy for people to get a hold on you. You'll offend people. So what if they do? Why should I let this man discover my good qualities through another woman? Do I owe him anything? I can't stand even the slightest grievance. Worst case scenario, I die. But if I am not even afraid of death, why would I be afraid of offending people? Host, don't. Enough with the nonsense. I've already written a letter back home, and within half a month, the Xiliang army will be here. I am going back to raise male concubines. I am happy just thinking about it. It is just that Chu Yuehua didn't want me to be happy. When night came, Murong Heng came to my room with the imperial physician. Me face was full of vigilance. What are you doing? The imperial physician knelt down. The side consort's heart condition has worsened. We need the crown princess's heart's blood as a medicinal guide in order to cure her. Murong Heng frowned and looked at me. Her old illness flared up because she knelt for too long. Shen Qingqi, You should be responsible for your actions. I laughed. Are you okay? That maid from outside named Luluo rushed in again. Your Highness the Crown Prince. The side consort can't breathe, she needs her medicine. Murong Heng walked towards me. Don't worry, the imperial physician has good technique. He won't cause you any pain. I frowned. Murong Heng, you are saying heart's blood can cure illnesses. The imperial physician knelt and explained. It is recorded as such in ancient medical texts. This god-awful story really made me laugh. It has absolutely no logic. I finally understood what that malicious look from Chu Yuehua meant. Holy crap, so she was lying in wait for me here. Murong Heng walked towards me holding a dagger, finally revealing a sliver of guilt. Rest assured, just this one bowl. I turned my head, snatched his dagger and stabbed it right into his heart. You are so infatuated, might as well use yours. Blood flowed from Murong Heng's chest, and he looked at me in disbelief. Shen Qingxi, I am the Crown Prince. I threw down the dagger. Comparing status with me, are you? I am the Princess of Western Liang, you know. Are you any nobler than me? Everyone in the room was kneeling, not daring to speak. I scoffed. What are you spacing out for? Go on, take it. Or are you going to wait for that green tea bitch to die from the pain? This is your Crown Prince's heart's blood. Shouldn't that be an instant cure? The system shouted. Ah, host, how could you assassinate the male lead? If the male lead dies, the world will collapse. I went completely crazy. Then no one gets to live. The system had a meltdown. Host, the plot is deviating. I am going to punish you. I grabbed the system. Punish me. Say one more word, and I'll stab you too. But just then, someone outside suddenly came to report. The Emperor is here. I am screwed. My letter has just been sent out, and my imperial father hasn't received it yet. If this old emperor finds out I stabbed his son, wouldn't he kill me first? I quickly lifted Murong Heng onto the bed, slapped his back twice, and finally collected a bowl of heart's blood. I turned and handed it to the imperial physician who was kneeling on the ground, trembling and too scared to speak. Take it. He tremblingly took the medicine, his face white with fear. I warned him. If you dare to speak carelessly without my permission, you'd better think for yourself whether you'll be able to leave the Eastern Palace alive. Murong Heng was so angry he vomited blood. He pointed at me. But before he could even start cursing, he fainted. I then ordered people to tie up Chuyua's maid and throw her into the woodshed. The whole thing took just a few minutes. After doing all this, I put 2 drops of plain water in my eyes and ran out, crying and wailing. The system called out to me. Host, what are you off to do? Can't you tell? I am going to frame someone. Hee. Seeing me run out like that, the emperor was stunned and asked me why the crown prince hadn't come out. I called the imperial physician over, pointed to that bright red thing he was holding in the bowl, and pretended to cry. The side consort's heart condition acted up, and she said only heart's blood as a medicinal guide could cure her. His Highness the Crown Prince was so heartbroken, he immediately stabbed himself to draw the medicine to cure her. It is truly a love that moves heaven and earth. Amidst the Emperor and Empress's shock, I started to be passive-aggressive. I haven't seen much of the world in Xiliang. I didn't expect His Highness the Crown Prince to be such a lovesick fool, willing to harm his own body for a side consort. Today was a real eye-opener. Hearing this, the Emperor of this great Sheng nation's face turned black with anger. Where is the Crown Prince? I answered truthfully. He fainted from excitement. Emperor-Empress system host, you are clearly the one who knocked him out. I sighed. The Crown Prince and the side consort are in perfect harmony. Last night, on his wedding night, the Crown Prince wanted to spend it with the side consort. And today, he was eager to come and tell me about their undying love. Father Emperor, why not just grant their wish and grant me a divorce from the Crown Prince? We children of Xiliang cannot tolerate such grievances. The Empress at the side panicked. Qingxi, you can't just say things like that. You just got married yesterday, and you are asking for a divorce today. If this gets out, you'll be the laughing stock of the world. The Emperor got even angrier. Insolent wench, how dare you try to take our son's life? I pointed behind me, Father Emperor, why don't you go check on the crown prince? He has lost a lot of blood. I hope something happens to him. Ah, Tui, that he is okay. The Empress got angry too. Where is that wench? My gaze shifted to that imperial physician, and I raised an eyebrow. Speak up. The imperial physician's legs were trembling. Your Majesty the Empress, please follow me. The good show is about to start. On the way, I was being snarky again. Let Her Majesty, the Empress, wait outside. The imperial physician and I will go get Chu Yua to come out, so as not to dirty her eyes. Sure enough, when she saw it was me, Chu Yua dropped the act, glanced behind me, and asked, "Where is the crown prince?" I gave the imperial physician a look, and he immediately brought that bowl of stuff over. After seeing it, the corners of her mouth were harder to suppress than an AK, because she thought it was my blood. Thank you so much, Crown Princess. I smiled too. For what? She still didn't know that I had just turned the imperial physician to my side, and lowered her head with a smirk. The crown prince dotes on me so much. He didn't hesitate to use the crown princess's blood to cure my illness. I really must thank the crown princess for her generous help. At the same time, I'd like to offer you a piece of advice, Crown Princess. This isn't your Xi Liang if something were to really happen. Who do you think the crown prince would believe, you or me who stays by his side day and night? I pretended not to understand and continued to ask. So, you are lying to the crown prince? She walked closer to me, revealing the viciousness hidden beneath her fragile expression. Shen Qingxi, Murong Heng can only be mine. I continued to lead her on. So you are not sick at all, are you? Does it matter? Are you going to expose me? Shen Qingqi, don't be so naive. Do you think the crown prince will care about what you say? I shrugged. I really don't care. Because if nothing unexpected happens, as the male lead, he'll probably get offed. If something unexpected does happen, he'll probably just get offed a bit later. How could I possibly care about the life or death of a man who is about to die? She took the blood from the imperial physician's hands and was about to drink it. I unhurriedly interrupted her. This is the crown prince's heart's blood. Since you two are so deeply in love, I believe one bowl will be a cure-all. As soon as I finished speaking, her hand trembled. The bowl fell to the ground, a splash of crimson. I secretly sighed, what a pity. This cultivation was all for nothing. She exploded with anger, pointing at me. Shen Qingxi, how is it not yours? I smiled innocently. No way. No way. So it turns out you didn't want the crown prince's blood, but mine, huh? What a shame. The crown prince even fainted trying to save you. You are lying. I just don't get it. Anyway, you are not sick, so drinking it is useless. Why do you still care whose it is? I looked at her. Shen Qingxi, Ayaya. The crime of deceiving the emperor can get your entire 9 generations executed, you know. Imperial physician, wouldn't you say so? Chu Yua was so angry her chest heaved violently, shouting, Lel Fei Luo, someone come. No one will come even if you scream your lungs out. Shen Qingxi, I am going to the crown prince to have you deposed. She cursed at me loudly. Who would dare? Just as Chu Yua was about to lunge at me, the Empress's voice sounded from outside the door. Chu Yuehua's face turned pale with fear. She quickly knelt before the Empress to cry and complain, saying she didn't do anything, that I was the one who framed her. Don't be so ridiculous. I didn't care at all that the Empress was still present, and I didn't want to dirty my own hands. So I signaled to the palace maid beside me. That palace maid had probably suffered a lot of abuse from them on a regular basis. She went over and gave her 2 slaps, making the corner of her mouth bleed. You'd better think carefully again about what you've said. She kept crying and whimpering non-stop, but this prosperous White Lotus act only works on men. Not only was it useless on me, I even felt like going over and kicking her a couple of times. The Empress, with a grim face, ordered for harming the crown prince and framing the crown princess. First, drag her down and lock her in jail. A trial will be held on another day. Immediately, quite a few palace maids came, seized Chu Yua, and dragged her out. Such a gratifying matter. Shouldn't I go and have a good talk with Murong Heng about it? To make him angry for a bit? So I followed the Empress to find Murong Heng again. An imperial physician had already stopped his bleeding and bandaged him up. At this moment, he was lying weakly on the bed. Seeing me arrive, he reached out his hand and pointed at me. I immediately got the hint. How audacious. You want to ask if your Yueha is okay? Rest assured. She is already locked up in the great prison. You venomous. Murong Heng was so angry that his chest wound started seeping blood again, and he wanted to call me a venomous woman. He says east. I say west. He points, I beat him to it and slapped my thigh. You say I am magnanimous? I really am like that. No need for you to praise me. Murong Heng's vision went black. He almost fainted again. Seeing that he still wanted to talk, I planned to send away the emperor and empress, so I gave a signal to the imperial physician from just now. The imperial physician shivered and immediately knelt down. Your Majesty, the crown prince is heartbroken and needs to rest quietly. Besides, the smell of blood in the room is heavy. Your subject suggests that your Majesty may withdraw for now. When the emperor heard this, he thought it made sense. So he left with the empress, seeing them leave. Isn't this my world now? The system came out at this moment, wailing. Host, the plot is a complete mess now. What are you going to do? I asked. Will Murong Heng die? Not yet. He has the male protagonist's halo. Going by what you said, doesn't that mean I should have a female protagonist's halo too? The system immediately screamed at me heart-wrenchingly. Host, don't be impulsive. For my sake, don't kill the male lead. I chuckled. Which eye of yours saw me wanting to kill him? In the letter I wrote to my father emperor, I said to come with troops directly, without asking for the reason. If I kill the crown prince now, won't I be captured too? I am not stupid. I'll just slowly wear him down. At this moment, Murong Heng still wanted to curse at me. I went over and patted his face. Get well soon, don't die so quickly. After all, you haven't faced the retribution of chasing wife to the crematorium yet, and you are just going to get angered to death so easily. The readers won't be satisfied, and I won't be satisfied either. Besides, that liar Chu Yuehua hasn't been exposed yet. I had planned to go meet her in jail after a good night's sleep. But the next day, she appeared right before my eyes. Murong Heng was supporting her from behind. Chu Yuehua immediately whined coquettishly. Your Highness, Yuehua's back hurts. Then I saw Murong Heng's hand gently kneading her waist. She was satisfied now and immediately started to show off. I am afraid I can't bow to the crown princess. Yuehua is pregnant. The imperial physician said I was frightened yesterday, and the pregnancy is unstable. His Highness the Crown Prince felt sorry for me and quickly rescued me. The Crown Princess won't be angry, will she? I asked the system. Can his injuries heal that quickly? Host, he is the male lead. He won't die so easily. So, in order to advance the plot, they let this scumbag man and bitch out so quickly. Shen Qingqi, now that Yua is pregnant, I hope you will behave yourself. If you cause another ruckus in the Eastern Palace, don't blame this prince for being merciless. Murong Heng pointed at me. From now on, without this prince's permission, you are not to take a single step out of your room, system. The original female lead would wash her face with tears in her room, leaving a letter every day to pave the way for the male lead's later regret. I asked, doesn't the female lead have a mouth? How long does it take for the male lead to find out the female lead is his savior? It is in the latter half of the plot, after the male lead has tormented the female lead many times, so that the readers will feel sorry for the female lead, and the male lead's regret will have a foundation. Why abuse the female lead just to make readers feel sorry for her, and why only have the male lead regret it after she has been hurt? I gave a cold laugh, pulled a crescent moon necklace from my clothes, and threw it in front of Murong Heng. Murong Heng, open your dog eyes wide, and take a good look at who the person who saved you back then really is. This side consort of yours is nothing but a thief who has occupied the magpie's nest. You came to Siliang at the age of 10. It was I who saved you when you were heavily injured, and it was also I who ended up with a heart condition from blocking a sword for you. When you left back then, I gave you the other half of this jade Jew. You can take it out and see if they fit together. The system started shouting again. Host, why did you say it now? If you say it now, The male lead will definitely think you are a liar. It is not like I said it to make the male lead regret it. I am purely just venting for the original female lead. Okay, something that can be explained in one sentence. Yet it has to be dragged out for hundreds of chapters. Isn't that tiring? And in a little over 10 days, my father emperor is coming, so I have to speed up the plot. Besides, I am not here to have a romance with this idiot male lead. Murong Heng picked up that necklace. The half I threw was engraved with my name. I just don't get it. When the female lead gave her love token back then, couldn't she have just directly given the half with the name on it to the male lead? She just had to give the other half, letting that green tea benefit for nothing. So stupid, utterly stupid. As expected, you can't use your brain when reading angsty novels. Murong Heng took out the other half from his bosom, and sure enough, they fit together. Then his expression finally changed, and he even moved half a step away from Chu Yueha, but his voice was still filled with disbelief. Shen Qingxi, are you messing with me? I shrugged. Believe it or not, your country is such a tiny-ass place. Or else do you think I came all this way for a marriage alliance because I am sick in the head? Chu Yuehua got anxious and immediately cried out, Your Highness, don't believe this vixen's words. Back then it was clearly Yuehua who saved you. Murong Heng's eyes darted back and forth between the two women. I let out a cold snort and turned to leave. Me main thing is to say what is on my mind. Whether he believes it or not has nothing to do with me. But unexpectedly, the Emperor and Empress came again. Then I saw a flash of triumph in Chu Yuehua's eyes, and her lips seemed to be mouthing to me. You are finished. Sure enough. Yesterday these two were still calling her a lowly maid and saying she should be severely punished. Today, seeing that Murong Heng was fine and Chu Yue was pregnant, they suddenly acted as if their bodies were possessed, telling her to take care of herself. Then this empress also completely forgot what this green tea bitch said in the room yesterday, and instead started to lecture me. Shen Qingxi, it is very normal for a man to have 3 wives and 4 concubines. What is more, you are the crown princess. If you don't even have this bit of tolerance when the crown prince ascends the throne in the future, wouldn't the imperial harem never be at peace? I raised an eyebrow. What is your majesty, the empress, talking about? Qingxi doesn't understand. Don't you understand? Do you know what crime it is to harm the crown prince? The crown prince was actually stabbed in the heart by you with a blade. If he weren't so damn lucky, what this palace, would have seen yesterday was his corpse. So Murong Heng went to snitch. What a petty person. I stood ramrod straight. When we were young, Qingxi took several arrows to the heart to save the crown prince. So now, let's just consider this him repaying that life-saving favor. We're even now. The emperor wasn't anxious, but Murong Heng got anxious. Shen Qingxi, you actually want to draw a line between us. Is he sick in the head? Why is he trying to seek attention at a time like this? I rolled my eyes. But Chu Yuehua knelt down first. Mother Empress, it is all Yuehua's fault. Please don't blame elder sister. It is because Yuehua's health is poor. You are with child now, get up quickly, be careful not to harm the fetus. The empress looked at her with a loving expression, but looked at me venomously. Shen Qingxi, you are jealous and reckless. You almost harmed the crown prince's heir. I punish you with 7 days of confinement. I smiled. All right, Qingxi will go back to her room now. In my peripheral vision, I saw the palace maid who had helped me beat someone up earlier. Lian Chao, scouting, she winked at me. Seeing me leave, Chu Yue happily continued. This servant had someone go to the south to pick this year's first batch of new tea. For Father Emperor and Mother Empress to moisten your throats. But as soon as they drank the tea, they immediately started vomiting and having diarrhea. When Lian Chao came to see me, she was laughing very loudly. Crown Princess, you didn't see their expressions like they were holding in a shit. It was really so funny. I was playing with the cup in my hand, the corners of my mouth stretched all the way to outer space. Want to make me unhappy? I'll just drug everyone to make them unhappy. Don't even think about living if you offend me anyway. It wasn't me who served the tea, and no matter how they investigate, they'll never trace it back to me. I heard the emperor hasn't been to morning court for 3 days. and Murong Heng has spent 3 days running back and forth between his room and the latrine. This medicine is really potent. So on the 4th day of my confinement, the eldest princess in the palace summoned me. Trying to find someone to boss me around again. Whatever, I'll go nuts. When I went in, she had her back to me. Someone next to her announced that the crown princess had arrived, and the moment she turned, I dropped right to my knees. Mom. How come this eldest princess looks so much like my mom from the real world? The moment she made eye contact with me, she immediately sent everyone away. When fellow townspeople meet, tears well up in their eyes. I cried and hugged her leg. Mom, how come you are here too? Maybe it is a punishment from the heavens for me. I was stunned. To be honest, I am the one who wrote this novel. No way, Mom, do you have to be this wild? Using my name for the female lead. And I am even tortured so miserably. Shi Liang, your imperial father's name is your dad's name. I am here. I remember now the eldest princess and the king of Shi Liang really did have a tragic, deep love story. Back then, they fell in love at first sight in Shi Liang. Then after having a baby, she ran away. I am the fruit of her and the king of Shi Liang's love. So this time, with my marriage alliance, the reason the king of Shi Liang allowed, it was also because he wanted me and the eldest princess to acknowledge each other. Wild, too wild. Oh my God. What on earth did you write? There is the running away pregnant trope, the overbearing CEO's intense love trope, and also the stand-in trope, mistaken identity, crippling a hand and forcing an abortion all in one go. You really don't let a single character go to waste. I told you so. Don't let middle-aged moms read novels, but you just wouldn't believe me. My mom laughed sheepishly. I've read thousands of them, and none of them were written to my liking. Is this me, a retired factory worker, finding new employment? I looked up at the sky, speechless. Go ahead and write. Who can possibly outwrite you? You're remembering the important stuff. I quickly told her what had happened these past few days. After listening, she slowly said, when I first got here, I was still thinking, it is probably not that big of a coincidence, but this crown princess isn't following my original plot. And is this crazy? I just knew my daughter came too. So basically, in her eyes, I am just a lunatic. As soon as I got here, I wrote a letter to Dad, telling him not to ask any questions and just send the troops immediately. My mom thought for a moment, if things develop this way, it is not very logical. You wrote such an illogical book, and you are blaming me for not acting logically. She patted my head. You always need a reason to send troops. Didn't you study journalism? Stir up some public opinion. I got it. So I immediately wrote a flyer with tears and sobs titled "Doting on the concubine and destroying the wife. The domineering crown prince fiercely loves the side consort. This title of yours is just my leftovers. Not sensational enough. You need to highlight how tragic your situation is, to make the common people sympathize with you, so that your father emperor from Western Liang will have a reason to send troops in the future. You think of something, Mom. You are better at this than I am." Latter, holding the one my mom wrote, titled, "On the wedding night, the crown princess is punished by being forced to listen to the crown prince and the side consort make love." I fell into deep thought. Me mom wrote a long rambling article portraying Murong Heng as a huge scumbag who doted on his concubine and cast aside his wife, describing Chu Yueha as a scheming, malicious green tea bitch who was arrogant from being favored and framed the princess consort, and also writing me as a pitiful, helpless little white lotus. I object to this persona. It is not important. Did Murong Heng go help that green tea rub her chest on your wedding night? Did he also argue with you and tell you to give in to her? Was Chu Yueha trying to take your heart's blood? Were you not pregnant yet, while she got pregnant first? Did the Empress ground you right after you got married? It really is. I gave a sincere thumbs up. Gotta hand it to you, Mom. You are amazing. Then overnight, countless identical little flyers were floating all over the capital city, and some people even wrote storybooks based on them. Lian Chao stood with her hands on her hips, telling me about the common folks' gossip. Oh my God, the crown princess has such a bitter fate. This Chu Yueha is just too hateful. I am going to make a voodoo doll to curse her. The crown prince is blind too. What kind of logic is it to let a side consort get pregnant first? Boo-hoo-hoo. I am going to write a storybook right now called Rebirth. The crown princess stuns the entire capital. Damn, they're better at writing than I am. As one told 10, and 10 told 100. After Murong-heng finished the morning court session, people were even asking him if it was true. So while I was happily lying in bed reading a picture book, Murong-heng, with a dark face, pushed open my door. Shen Qingxi. Was this your doing? I played dumb. I don't understand, Sumnida. He was still holding that little flyer in his hand, almost crushing it to pieces. You would slander me like this? My temper flared up instantly. Is your brain capacity smaller than your earwax? Use that little brain of yours and think. I am grounded. How could I have done it? Besides, I've only been here for a few days. I don't know anyone or this place. Even slander needs some basis. Okay. He was stunned. It really wasn't you. It wasn't me in the first place. It was my mom. Murong-heng's expression softened. Shen Qingxi, I've investigated it clearly. It was you who saved me back then. You are my crown princess now. I will treat you well from now on. Then what about Chu Yueha? Now that she is carrying my flesh and blood, the child is innocent. This damn man is such a scumbag, still wanting both of them. Chastity is a man's best dowry. Sorry, you are dirty. I don't want you. Murong-heng's defenses instantly broke. It is perfectly normal for a man to have 3 wives and 4 concubines. Besides, I just mistook her for you. If I had known she wasn't you, I absolutely would not have married her. You are saying you have no feelings for her. Murong-heng looked at me. The thing I hate most in my life is people who lie to me. Then can you divorce her? After she gives birth to the royal son. I didn't say anything and glanced at the dark shadow outside the door. The eavesdropper had already finished listening and left. I sneered. Get lost, you. As Murong-heng was leaving, he was still professing his devotion. I will slowly make it up to you, Yanyan. Don't call me Yanyan. I will. For the next 2 days, Murong-heng stayed in my room, eating and reading with me. The system advised me. Host, the male lead is trying to get on your good side. You need to seize the opportunity. If you don't talk, no one will think you are a mute. I said to the system. You still want me to seize it. Seize my ass. Looking at his face, I feel so disgusted I can't even eat, but it was a blessing in disguise. I lost 3 jinn. 7 days later, right after I was released from my confinement, I ran into Chu Yueha in the garden again. It is like she deliberately came here to wait for me. When a green tea comes looking for you, it is never a good thing. I moved a little further away from her, but she called out to me. Shen Qingxi. So what if you really did save the crown prince back then? For all these years, I am the one who has been by his side, and I am also the one who has been intimate with him in bed night after night, and I am even carrying his child. Do you think a childhood bond is more important, or the love that grows over time? XKTSKTSK, if you want him, just take him. Who wants to fight with you over a rotten cucumber? It makes me sick just thinking about it. Is the original female lead sick in the head, or what? Back together with such a blind male lead, me fists were clenched. But then I remembered my mom wrote this. So I consoled myself she must have her reasons for writing it this way. I just don't understand them. I didn't follow the plot, and besides, that day she already heard the male lead was going to divorce her. She didn't go settle the score with Murong-heng, but instead came to make trouble for me. Does that even make sense? His Highness the Crown Prince just feels a sense of gratitude to you for saving his life. That is all. But if he finds out you are trying to harm his child, do you think the child will be more important, or you? After saying that, she glanced towards the door and jumped into the pond. Holy crap, so ruthless. Help, help! Why is the crown princess trying to harm my child? My child has fallen in. Still couldn't shut her up. Murong-heng ran out from behind me and glared at me fiercely. Shen Qingxi, I already told you that I would let her go after she gives birth to the child. Why must you be so impatient? The child is innocent. How could you be so vicious? This male lead's blindness is truly beyond saving. So I kicked Mirong Heng into the water too. Oh, you are so kind. What are you standing around for? Hurry up and save that green tea, bitch. Swim faster. Go for it. You are the best, or the baby's gonna be gone. Turns out I overestimated him. He actually couldn't swim. It was Chu Yua who struggled to drag him to the shore with her, but she had a miscarriage. I was summoned to the imperial palace. The empress was furious. The crown princess, relying on her status as the princess of Ziliang, dared to ruthlessly attack a royal heir. The emperor slammed the table. You ignorant woman. How could you be so jealous as to cause us the painful loss of our imperial grandson? Chu Yuawa looked pitiful, as if she could be blown over by the wind. I have no grudge against the crown princess. She pushed me into the water. What did I do wrong? Woo-woo. Mirong Heng also came to accuse me. Shen Qingxi, I am so disappointed in you. They kept chattering endlessly. I couldn't take it anymore and punched the earth until it exploded. I slammed my palm on the table with so much force that it shocked everyone in the room. Then I yanked off the heavy headdress on my head and let out a gloomy low roar like a female ghost. Immediately, I screamed, contorted, convulsed, roared, wriggled, rolled, and crawled around sinisterly. I turned into a mother monkey swinging on a swing, and then started attacking everyone indiscriminately. First, I slapped Mirong Heng across the face. Then with lightning speed, I grabbed Chu Yuahua's hair and slammed her head onto the ground. Next, I landed a spinning kick on the Empress's shin. And finally, I took a sip of tea and sprayed it directly in the Emperor's face. Aha, going crazy feels so good, the Empress screamed. She is crazy. She is crazy. She has gone mad, seize her. A squad of guards came in. I immediately switched targets, sneak attacking armpits, kicking the vital parts, poking eyes. They didn't dare get close at all, running out like they'd seen a ghost. At the critical moment, someone shouted, "The eldest princess has arrived." I quickly fixed my hair, returned to normal in a second, and then pitifully collapsed at my mom's feet, wailing, "I've been wronged. Why must you humiliate me like this?" Sob, sob, sob. They don't believe me. They don't believe me. The emperor was furious. Princess Shen Qingxi of Ziliang is insane and vulgar. How dare she ambush me? Believe it or not, I will annihilate your country. That is exactly what I wanted to hear. I winked at my mom. Looking at the mess all over the room, her face hardened. Making such a scene. If word of this gets out, we'll be a laughingstock to the whole world. The crown princess will come to my palace and stay for now. As I was leaving, I cheekily blew a whistle at everyone stunned. Someone's got my back. She said she was going to spread it around, to make him a laughingstock for the whole world. But as a result, my mom stayed up all night and wrote another small flyer with the title, "The Emperor of Dasheng threatened to wipe out Xiliang. And the reason is actually, I asked her what the reason was. She said mysteriously, See, you are curious too, right? This is exactly the effect I wanted. The reason doesn't matter anymore. What matters is that the word got out." I had a sudden realization plus, with the little flyers that were spread around before about how much Mirong Heng detests me. Now everyone in the world is on my side. And since it was you, Dasheng, who first said you wanted to wipe out our Xiliang, our reason for sending troops is completely justified. God, I am actually looking for logic in a brainless, angsty novel. I am impressed with myself. The system spoke up at this moment. Host, this part wasn't in the original plot. If the ending is changed because of this, you all might be trapped in the book. With an Urkang hand wave? Whatever, my parents are both here anyway. How awesome is that? But I immediately thought of something. If a real war breaks out, won't there be a lot of casualties? Even though they're all 2D characters, the common people are always innocent. My mom gave a mysterious smile. Don't worry, when the time comes, your dad and I will coordinate from the inside and outside. We'll take down the Daisheng nation without breaking a sweat. It has been 11 days since I sent the letter. Xiliang's iron cavalry should already be on their way. I quickly asked my mom, with such a big move, isn't it impossible that no spies have reported it? They won't. The general of the Daisheng nation is my first love. Holy crap, I am literally exclaiming, "Holy crap," to sneak so much personal stuff into writing a book. I asked Kosh, "Dad doesn't know about this, right? He'll probably know when he sees the person. So don't let them meet. At their old age, they're playing at a love triangle here." I could only helplessly agree. After all, this family would fall apart without me. After I moved into the eldest princess's palace, Mirong Heng came for 2 days. One moment saying he wanted to treat my illness, the next saying he wanted to explain things to me. What is there to explain? It is not like I am going to listen anyway. The system urged me, "Host, you should at least follow the plot. Right now is the male lead's wife chasing crematorium plot." Oh, I suppose so. Thinking that he might not be the crown prince anymore in 2 days. I was super bored, so when I saw him, I wanted to hear what kind of crap he would spout. In the garden, he sat across from me. In just a few short days, he'd become a lot more haggard. I asked the system, "All the must-have plots for chasing wife to the crematorium. Are the male lead getting thin, becoming listless, and regretting it? Do readers really like to see that? This novel is on the bestseller list, which proves that readers really do like it." I gotta say, my mom really did nail the market trends. Seeing I was distracted, Mirong Heng said in a low voice, "That day Chu Yue fell into the water, a palace maid from the residence. Lian Chao told me that you didn't touch her at all. She jumped in herself, and then saw me appear at the door, so she wanted to frame you. Also, the child in her belly, the imperial physician said it no longer had a heartbeat, so she wanted to use a dead child to pin the blame on you. I didn't expect her to be this kind of person, lying to me again and again. So speechless. Why doesn't he blame himself for being a poor judge of character, huh? So what? If you have something to say, just spit it out." Mirong Heng was stunned for a moment. I sneered. "What is our relationship? What is the point of you explaining to me?" The rims of his eyes reddened, and it seemed he had mustered a great deal of courage before saying, "Shen Qingxi, I will divorce her, kick her out. Look at this man. When I was under house arrest, I told him to divorce her, and he said he had to wait until she gave birth. Now that Chu Yuehua is no longer useful to him, he immediately wants to sacrifice her to please me. Such a disgusting trope. Why would readers think it is good?" I frowned. "This has nothing to do with me, right?" Mirong Heng pressed his lips together. "Shen Qingxi, I apologize to you for what happened before, but luckily, fate is on my side. You are my properly and officially wedded crown princess." He looked at me, his gaze scorching. "You saved me back then, and you are also my wife. Can you give me a chance so we can have a good life together?" I yelled at the system in my head. "Can you poison him, mute? The stuff he says is so disgusting, I don't want to hear it." The male lead is repenting. This is the start of you two making up. Whoever wants this dog man can have him. I for one don't want him. Seeing I didn't say anything, Mirong Heng continued. "Your personality is still as free-spirited and passionate as when we were young. Although you were very arrogant the day you first arrived, that was your true self. Later, when you told me the truth, my first reaction wasn't that you lied to me, but that you were messing with me because you really seemed to hate me. But I found myself caring more about you day by day. I like the you who speaks her mind. I like the clever you. I like the way you laugh heartily. And I also like the way you look when you are angry, because it is all the real you. I know you resent me for not recognizing you, but didn't you travel thousands of miles for this political marriage for the sake of our childhood promise? Shen Qingxi, give me a chance. I will use the rest of my life to make it up to you." I called out to the system. "Is the male lead a masochist? Does he have Stockholm Syndrome? Host, he is sweet-talking you." I rolled my eyes and interrupted Mirong Heng's words. "That is not what you said when you wanted to take my heart's blood for another woman. How about this? You give me a bowl of it every day. Let me see your sincerity, okay?" Mirong Heng opened his mouth. I had someone show him out. He said he would send over a bowl of his heart's blood every day. I couldn't be bothered with him, and went and fished Lian Chao out of the Eastern Palace again. This girl is sharp enough. In the future I'll reward her with 10,000 taels of gold, and also send her dozens of little brothers with abs to dote on her every day. Then she brought me news. Isn't the crown prince trying to kick out Chu Yuehua? So I went and told her that she hated the wrong person. All the grievances are because of the man. Why must women make things difficult for other women? I raised an eyebrow, signaling for her to continue. Lian Chao said while cracking melon seeds. I told her that falling in love with the crown prince was your mistake to begin with, and your mistake was being a little thief who stole someone else's happiness. But the crown prince is also at fault because he was the one who gave you the chance, and even created a beautiful dream for you. Regardless of whether there is a crown princess, the crown prince will never have only you as his woman. And who is really to blame for things getting to this point today? I told her to think about it carefully. You are amazing. You said everything I wanted to say. When she was eavesdropping before, I already gave her a talking to, a man who shows her no consideration for their past, and only wants to keep her because of the child. What is there for her to be attached to? After she heard that, she was stunned for a moment. And then I was summoned by you. I think if she is smart, she'll know who to take revenge on. Oh right, last time I tied up one of her maids named Elfei Luo. I forgot where she is now. I've already helped the crown princess sell her off. If this girl were in modern times, she would be such a capable subordinate. I happily treated her to several roast chickens. 2 days passed in a flash. On the 15th day, the emperor seized me to punish me, saying he wanted to teach us Siliang a lesson. As it turned out, the imperial palace was already surrounded by the army led by the grand general. He spat out a mouthful of old blood. Audacious traitors, how dare you rebel? Guards, turns out. With one shout, he called my dad over. My dad, wearing a big fur coat and a sable fur hat, looked all smug. Old fart, weren't you going to teach us Siliang a lesson? Bring it. Then he waved at me, and I quickly ran over, saying in a low voice, nice acting. The emperor was furious, and he opened his mouth to curse the grand general. You colluded with the enemy and betrayed the country. Just then my mom walked out from behind. It was me. When my dad saw my mom, his eyes lit up. Then, in the blink of an eye, he saw this grand general the emperor mentioned, and the smile instantly froze on his face. Me. Oh ho. Middle-aged people's love stories are even more complicated than ours. So these two vented their anger and directly conquered the Desheng kingdom. The emperor, empress, and the rest were all thrown into the great prison, and they even had a huge fight right there in the throne room. System. This world is too insane. I want to number. 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 You can't number. Because Murong Heng was stabbed in the heart by Chu Yuehua. You could say it is a case of a new wound appearing before the old one has healed. The system cursed and grumbled. There isn't a single normal person in this book. I laughed. You finally realized. From when he first started persuading me to follow the plot, to later when he often didn't show up, and then to replying to me coldly, until now, he has finally discovered, instead of wearing himself out with internal struggles, it is better to go crazy and wear others out. So the system said, the main plot wasn't completed. As punishment, host, you will remain in this world, and can only return to your original world after the male and female leads die. But I figured as much. You definitely don't care. Of course, I am happy to death, okay? Now that the Central Plains have been unified, my mom directly gave the throne to the great general, and then my dad whisked my mom away to travel and have fun. Before leaving, I told my mom that even if she gets bored in the future, she is not allowed to write angsty novels anymore. And then, as for me, I didn't go back to Xiliang. I just stayed here and became the grand princess in name only. And wow, all sorts of handsome men from the populace were being sent to my mansion. Thinking that Murong Heng is also a paper person. I didn't want to do anything to him either, so I planned to let him go, but he just wouldn't have it, saying he would shed his heart's blood for me every day until I had a change of heart. See, I gave him a chance. He didn't want it. So to keep the world from collapsing, I brought out the not-dead Murong Heng, locked him in my residence, and made him watch me live a life of debauchery every day, either watching me touch this young gentleman's abs, or watching me pass out drunk in a handsome man's arms, or having several people give me a shoulder rub and a massage together. He was so furious his eyes looked ready to split, and he cursed me for being shameless. Look at this man, he has his own secondary consort and his bed-warming maids, and doesn't think anything of it. But when it is my turn, He gets so angry he grinds his teeth. I just won't let him have his way. Are you mad as hell? Relax, I am not gonna touch you. You are so filthy. I told you a long time ago, chastity is a man's best dowry. But you just wouldn't listen. El Memau, now you don't even have the chance to be favored by me, system. Host, you are so perverted. But I love it so much, let's go crazy together. Woohoo. A long time later, a new storybook among the folk became a massive hit all across the land. As expected, my mom got laid off and found a new job, and her hands started itching again. I took the book that Lian Chao handed me. The cover read, "After transmigrating into a storybook, I ditched my first love and was fiercely doted on by the domineering evil King Nice. This time it is a sweet romance with my dad and mom as the main characters." The moment I turned my head, a handsome man holding a handkerchief looked at me, pouting his pink, plump lips. Does the princess still want to play? I covered my eyes, the corners of my mouth harder to press down than an AK. Let's play. End of full text.